said talk to me, damn it, or else I'm gonna throw you in the fire!
You stupid bitch! You filthy... State of fear.
Welcome back to Flyover State of Fear with Brian and Joe. What's up, everyone? What's up, Brian? How are you?
I don't know what side Joe's on.
I don't. Up, down.
I don't know how they orient it on the once it goes to video. I never watch.
It's left and right, but I don't.
It's also reversed, mirrored. I don't know.
It is mirrored. It is mirrored.
Yeah.
But what's up, dude?
Not much, man.
What's new? What's new? This is like one of those stretches where, like, you know, what was, like 3 weeks ago we chatted.
Yeah, it's been a while. Everybody was busy.
Long
it's busy time of year, you know. The summer rolls on. You know, we had I got a lot of June's a very busy month for me with like birthdays and anniversaries and Mother's Days and Father's Days.
Summer is just one of those things where you go, like, you look up, you're not busy, and then you look down, and then you look up, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, every moment of solace is booked.
Yeah.
It's just something.
But ever
July's
since and you know this, Joe, and this is I would believe I was doing the show last year, so we probably talked about it then. I take one of the busiest summers of the weekend for everybody else, and I become a total recluse. And I do my summer movie weekend over the July 4th weekend, unless I'm forced to go to some sort of event. But for the last few years, it has been mercifully slim, the amount of time I've had to spend outside of my home. The only fireworks I hear are outside my window from my neighbors. And I watched this year, I clocked in at 23 movies in just
I was just going to ask,
over 72 hours.
I'm looking at your letterbox, and it's like, the 4th is, I mean, you start on the 3rd, like light.
Right, I started on the 3rd, and actually I had a couple filler movies with the Daria movies.
Sure.
I brought those in, little 70 minute.
Wait, can I guess?
Palate cleanser.
Can I guess that this is one of my favorite games? It's very boring, because the Daria movie, or Daria in Is It Fall Yet? I'm going to say there's just shy over 100 views on that. For letterbox logging.
Oh yeah, God, I would imagine so. I don't even know. I can't be a lot.
Wow, that is surprising to me, and I probably am belittling the Daria fandom. It has like 19K views. That's a lot.
Like I said, I don't usually put TV shows on there, but those are legitimately movies, and I believe at the time they were even released, they were presented as like the Daria movie, and then at the end they would do like little outtake, you know. I love when animated movies do outtakes because it's actually extra effort. Good for them.
Yeah, never even knew that.
But anyway, it's but yeah, I did. So I had a strong weekend. I got a lot of good stuff in.
Yeah, man. What are some highlights?
Well, you know, obviously I'm always gonna get Jaws in. And this is the big year for Jaws, and I'll probably end up seeing it in the theater in August again, which will be like the 5th time I've seen it in the theater probably. But so that always gets in. Obviously, I always do the two.
Are you going to that screening?
What? Which one?
Jaws.
Well, there's like a Labor Day. They're re-releasing in Labor Day.
I'll be in Europe.
Nah,
I'm
poor
not.
baby. Listen, people, can't you? Spare a thought for poor Joe, who will be on a European vacation. When Jaws is released.
I think they're doing the Spinal Tap screenings around then too, or something. And I'm like,
good.
Man, the good stuff's being taken. I gotta go on my honeymoon.
Gotta go on my stupid honeymoon. Could be watching Spinal Tap in the theater.
Of movies
You're moping around. I just picture you moping around Europe. I'm like,
hey, you want to go to the movies for like 3 hours while on this trip? No, but why not?
Come on. Turns out they released Fathom events over here too. Let's just go.
Oh man. But anyway, yeah, I know you have your usuals. You do Jaws, what, one and two.
Oh yeah, yeah. Jaws 1 and 2.
Oh, you did three.
Yeah. Actually, I usually did three. I did three, and actually, I took a nap during four, so I did not count it because I
Mm,
not only napped through it, but I didn't finish it.
I was gonna say, what is,
Um,
I have a threshold. What's your nap threshold for letterboxing? Like if I watch majority of the movie and like clip the end, I'm logging it. If I miss some of it,
yeah,
no.
I mean, it depends. Sometimes I'll wake up to the end. You know how sometimes like the credits wake you up sometimes, and then I'll just kind of like stay right there and rewind it back to where I remember and finish it right then. Sometimes, if I got the time to
Hmm.
do that. Yeah, you gotta be like at least well into Act 3 though, before,
Yeah, I agree. Especially if it's like a
and it's
rewatch, I'll
right,
log
if
it.
it's a rewatch or like a favorite, that's a different story, obviously
Hmm.
if it's a well worn. But definitely the one I always want to mention too is I do the John Candy two-piece of Summer Rental and Great Outdoors.
Mm.
Just a real fun time with both of those.
God, I'm so jealous. I know I am listening to you.
No, no, it's fine. Go ahead.
I'm so jealous of you. I have some work to do. You have 100 movies on me
Oh yeah, for the
for the
I only
year.
started in February.
Yeah, I've logged everyone since January, and I've logged 130 this year.
Let's see.
Respectable, but
Yeah, I
just
logged my first one on February 14th of this year. But I don't watch a lot of TV either. I almost
I've been
exclusively watch
watching a
movies.
lot of TV this
I
year.
watched Poker Face though. It was very good.
Ah, yeah.
No, not
I'll
a
get. I'll
fan.
go. I mean, I'll figure it out.
It's all right.
I'll go to it.
It's not for
Um.
everybody.
Oh, hold on. Someone's been. This is terrible. No. Um, but anyway, I'm done on that. I was looking at your letterboxed. Yeah, man,
Everybody should.
I'm jealous. That's the number. Those are my typical yearly numbers.
Yeah, I'm putting up
And
numbers,
and this year just nothing. But also doing like
man.
27 movies in 4 days. That's king shit. And that'll that that'll feed you for like a month of not watching a movie.
That's true. That's true.
No, I've been slacking on my watches this year. Actually, I had my letterbox open for a reason because there were a few horrors I wanted to highlight. Do you have anything else you want to
Horror wise,
run
I don't.
through?
I mean, nothing new horror wise. I did get some horror movies in.
Hmm. I
But
logged.
I was trying to think. No, not a ton
Mm,
of
yeah,
horror before that either.
I logged two new ones. I still have to watch the new Final Destination, which have been on my rental list,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
that was
watched
fun.
I watched Hard
Much like the new
Eyes.
Jurassic World we were talking about off
Uh-huh.
camera, very much just a meat and
Meat and
potatoes
potatoes.
Final Destination movie. Like,
Yeah.
it's got its own gimmick working like they always do. There's always like an in for them, but they don't rely too heavily on the old movies or anything. They just kind of like bring a nice, confident, respectable Final Destination movie to the table, which I think is
Hell,
good.
hell yeah. No, I'm excited to watch that. I watched Hard Eyes, which
Oh
was
yeah.
very fun, slasher, you figure it out. And the other one, same thing, fun little starter horror slashery, Clown in a Cornfield. I watched the other
Oh yeah, I
day.
saw you logged that the other day.
It was a vibe. It generally was like, oh, this would be a fun Halloween watch. It's a bit of a vibe. I think you could, I'm
Where was
always
that
look.
one streaming? Do you remember?
Uh, I actually wait. No, I was gonna say, well, we could
Oops.
watch
I
it.
mean,
No, I actually straight up rented it for $8
oh, okay.
because I
Fair
was
enough.
like, generally like, you know what? I want to watch this. I forgot about it. So that was a real rental on
Well,
Amazon.
I paid $8 for a
Nine?
Blu-ray of Beer Fest. So,
Ooh, I got that in a combo pack with I think Howard and Kumar.
yeah, I've been on a bit of a physical media binge recently.
Hell yeah, my son.
The Criterion and Arrow did a sale at the same time, and I
Ooh,
had already ordered some like more obscure
I
things
see you got the
too.
Hunt in there. I see you got the
The Brood is under
Cell.
here. Got the Brood down
Dude, I
here from
have
a
that.
former episode of
You got
the show.
you got that Arrow Mallrats with like five
Yeah.
different versions. I got that one.
Mhm.
What's
A
the
couple of
one?
couple of weird ones.
Silence of the
Abruptio down
Lambs.
here, and then the Day of the Beast. Those are like some
Yeah.
more like kind of deeper cuts.
I love this. Yeah, this is the time sales, maybe because I've been spending on other. I've actually stopped myself.
Hmm.
I've actually gone, no, 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 we're good. I've gone like
Yeah.
Prime Day was going on and I saw all the things available. I went, I don't, I don't want any of these. Because
I
when
went
you,
the other way.
yeah, you did, and I'm happy about that. That makes,
Well, also though, I will tell people, and, not that anybody cares, but um, because of this, I also got the urge, and I went through. And Joe, you know this, told about in the DMs, but I went through and I culled my DVD collection a bit, and I pulled
mm,
out about 20%,
that's
about
good.
150 DVDs that I
Damn.
was like that either I
Did you
decided
donate?
yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm trying to find a local place that'll just buy them in bulk. Just give me give me a low, cut me a deal,
Give me
like
20 bucks.
right, like just and take some inventory. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
like you're gonna get some gems in there. There's gonna be some decent stuff. There's some
I
seasons
know.
that there's a couple TV seasons. There's some Blu-rays. There's some rare out of production DVDs probably.
Our shop,
And I keep my shit in peak.
oh
Everything is
yeah,
mint.
our
Aside from maybe a
shop.
little dust on the top.
I feel like every time I go to the shop that we go to, it has a sign of like not taking anything else ever. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you would. I always think if I brought my collection, you would go through this.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I
I've
love
definitely.
it. I
Well,
fucking love it. I've
I
been
really pulled the trigger on it. I did the thing that I'd kind of been like contemplating, which was a lot of stuff that had better versions that I was kind of thinking about buying. I pulled my copy. And I was like, now the next time I go to watch it, I'll have to get that nice new edition. You know what I mean? I'll like hold my own feet to the fire, be like, now if I want to watch Pan's Labyrinth, I can't watch my old Blockbuster rental copy that I bought for $6. I got to
well,
buy the Criterion collection
well,
now.
that I was gonna say that's a worthy criterion. There are the movies that I've upgraded. Even I've done the 4K upgrading on a few of like my favorites,
Yeah.
like Zodiac and good, like truly favorites, like Zodiac and Goodfellas. And I saw
Mhm.
they released their 4Ks, even though I'm like, I have the Blu-ray, but like, that's sure I'll upgrade
Yeah.
there. But yeah, that's a lot of like when not Criterion so much, but when I see Amazon sales, I go,
Mm.
I own a lot of this shit that you're
Yeah.
selling.
Yeah.
And I don't need to upgrade to a 4K for 90% of the stuff.
No, and some things I don't even upgrade from a DVD. Like there's a couple of Arrow releases. I think it's Arrow or Shout Factory has a nice release of Misery if you don't already have one, but
I have the
also it
Blu-ray.
doesn't really have anything that the Blu-ray, the
Yeah,
regular like special edition Blu-ray doesn't have. You know
yeah.
what I mean? And I think Idle Hands is like that too. I was looking at Idle Hands, I was like, in 20 years you didn't have another special feature to put on this thing? Like you got
I
nothing
have a
new for
Blu-ray of
me?
Idle Hands. Like same
Yeah.
thing. It's
So
yeah,
sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not, but
I find, well, did you see the recent outrage? But by the way, anyone who's still listening, welcome to our physical talk.
ooh,
Um,
yeah. Well, you know what? Like,
fuck them.
the show doesn't
Uh,
just have to be about the movie. The people want to hear from
the
us.
people want to hear about my collection, our collections.
Mhm.
Did you see the recent outrage, which I agree with, that the Nightmare on Elm Street, they were like, the fan base has been jonesing to get 4K, and they're like, sure, release. It's like 700 films, and it was straight up AI artwork, and
Yeah, now I saw some
I
speculation
was
that
gonna
that might have
say
been an AI fan art that just got like
it's
used
placeholder. It is
placeholder.
confirmed
Okay.
today by
It was
some.
hideously ugly.
Oh my God! I mean, you truly look at
It reminds me
zoom.
of that Rosemary's Baby 4K release that was just
Oh,
that had that god awful design.
that's a bad one. I Speaking of another 4K I have, it doesn't have a good cover, but it was actually great looking DVD 4K. The Exorcist one.
Oh yeah.
It's because but that the Rosemary's Baby one's real rough. Yeah, that Freddy one. Because I follow quite a bit of like these Nightmare accounts and that are big fans, and they were like, they got word from like distribution of who's putting the like, no, 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 that's placeholder. I was like, great, because
You better hope so.
I have that Blu-ray pack,
Yeah.
and I didn't even realize this from watching former guests Deandra's video about it, that is like a composite of like when he's like ripping through the package. It's very bad,
Yeah.
but she's like, you kind of see him. It's like clearly, and the glove is the remake glove coming out of it.
Oh wow.
And like people were upset about that, but then apparently, which
Yeah.
I thought was interesting to learn, Robert Englund owns his likeness.
Uh,
So it's probably the reason why they have a hard time actually getting like Freddy on things. But I
well,
know
they
with not,
wouldn't if they would just pay him, but they
well,
don't want to
yeah,
pay him.
I know with Nightmare stuff to begin with, between New Line and the fuck's who have Paramount or whoever owned like
Yeah,
the rights are just scattered with half that shit.
I believe it.
Anyway, no, physical's fun. Um, that's the thing. We could always just keep buying. I mean, we talk all the time over the years. I've been so close to pulling a trigger on a region-free player just so I could buy cool releases from like England and like fucking
Yeah, the UK they
Australia.
get some nice stuff
Like
out there.
Umbrella. Oh my God, every time I see someone with an Umbrella packaging, I'm like, I didn't even like Session 9 that much, but like that's beautiful
Well, it's like I had to
box.
break down and buy that Second Sight Dawn of the Dead
I did
because
too.
that was like
That's
the only release you can get
and you can watch everything on your
except the
4K
special
plate.
features.
That's special features. 'Cause apparently I think 4Ks are region free.
Yeah, yeah, I
But I
think so
bought that
too.
second site. It was like $50. It was worth it. Um, yeah, yeah, like I said, I keep ramming. I recently bought because I felt like I had to support it. I bought my first Vinegar Syndrome. I bought that Dirty Work
Yeah, I have that. I got that too. The dirtier
remaster,
edition. Yeah.
and I did lend it out to like a Dirty Work super fan who's going through like a hard time right now. So I haven't watched it yet. So I was like, you enjoy it, you read the book, blah
Yeah.
blah blah. It's a disturbing ass cover with the fat belly
The
and the
hairy
hair.
guy. Yeah, the hairy
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good
It's all
stuff.
good. So anyway, we are here today to I was about to say to talk about the Brood, but we're actually talking about
No, we're talking about
scanners.
Scanners, and that's actually a Criterion that I got. That
That's
was
why you
part of
picked it.
my.
So Brian sent us. So we just covered not too long ago the Brood, which is a Criterion I owned, and I was like, oh shit, I had never seen it. This was a win buy. Ironically enough, Brian bought that Scanners. It was one of the first Criterions I picked up myself, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I ever actually watched. I've seen it in my youth.
That's
I
kind of
don't
where
think
I
I
was at.
ever
I
actually.
definitely seen it, but this was my first time to sit down and like watch it in a way like to talk about it.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't think I've ever actually busted out my Criterion of it. I just remember I get excited, especially I get excited when I see horror in Criterion.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I should buy it. It's cool to own. Like I have their copy of Carnival of Souls. I'm not
Oh,
like it's a
nice.
great movie, but I'm not like,
Yeah.
you know,
Not gonna watch it
popping
all the time. Yeah.
popping in carnivals. So like for myself, I've jumped on a decent amount of the horror, other than a few
Yeah.
select few. Like they put Antichrist on that. I have no intention to ever see that movie again.
One that I picked up, I talk about a classic that is always I got this I finally got Silence of the Lambs
Love it.
on.
There's a great picture on that one.
Yeah, well, also I was really impressed with the
Supplements are,
insert. The book in it is
mhm.
got a lot of really good stuff, including like two Thomas Harris articles, which the dude is kind of reclusive. He doesn't talk a ton,
Mm.
so having a couple of like collections of
Yeah,
that, and there's a lot of archival stuff from like the years from the movie and then leading up. And Jonathan
that's
Demme died in 2017, so
that's a favorite Criterion. I actually just watched
just an incredible movie too. Every time I watch Silence of the Lambs,
so
I'm like, this
good.
is like it made my like when I did my second top 10 horror, but it's
Do we
like a top five. It might be
do
one of my
we
top 10 movies.
do we
Like,
talk about it next? Do we talk about it next? We'll discuss after the show. Because
oh,
I literally just watched for the first time a one of the Silence of the Lambs cause and effect of it being so popular. I watched
oh, sure,
Copycat the other
yeah,
day.
yeah.
I didn't know what
You've
Copycat
never seen
was.
Copycat?
No,
Oh,
I know it was
Copycat's
about
great.
I had and I was like, okay, thriller, Sigourney Weaver, blah
Another,
blah blah.
yeah,
And then I
another.
was
I just was talking about. I just picked up
pleasantly
the
surprised.
Arrow release of The Cell, which really, when you watch The Cell, it's about the Vincent D'Onofrio and like the set pieces and like the mind palaces of it all.
Mm,
But you forget how much of the like structure of it is Silence of the Lambs based. You know what I mean? It's like
It's
it's the serial killer stuff, the investigation stuff is all, and I mean, we talk about X-Files too. Everything that came out post Silence of the Lambs is so there's so much of that DNA like spread
mhm.
throughout crime
Well,
movies and investigation stuff after that. This
well,
is
it's
not a Silence of the Lambs podcast,
no,
everybody.
no,
We're
no.
going to talk about
I
scanners
well, and I was
eventually.
just gonna say it always makes me laugh though when you look today, and I always use two examples. I'm like, well, yeah, every episode of fucking like Law and Order, CSI is just doing Silence of the Lambs or The Ring.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
absolutely.
a decade apart, but like those are just procedurals that we now see cut down to 45 minutes, you know,
Yeah.
and
Oh
are
yeah.
that everyone's just mimicking that format. They're like, ooh, some shocking stuff. But
Yeah.
at the time you're like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so scanners, shocking.
Speaking of shocking stuff, this is
Yeah,
David Cronenberg, baby, 1981.
yeah.
This is
This is
sandwiched right between The Brood and Videodrome.
yes. And I will say to start off, I guess, week, I like Videodrome and the Brood a lot more than Scanners.
Do you?
Yeah.
See, I would put this, I would say I would put it, I would rank Brood top, then Scanners, then Videodrome.
So I thought that's where I landed until I watched Scanners today.
Oh, okay.
And
All
I
right. All
found
right.
myself, and this is going to be why I maybe I've been putting off talking about it for 40 minutes. I don't know how long we've been talking. Um, I kind of just got like, didn't care. I just got bored.
Yeah.
It was like, I was like, oh, when the cool shit happens and like I'm interested in like its world, but I don't know, just something didn't glue me as I wish I
You
did.
know what? I definitely can agree. I think the plot is kind of muddled with the different groups of scanners that are people who are all trying to there's groups of scanners, there's people trying to control scanners,
It,
and then like also those groups are also intermingled where like it turns out that the people that the good guy is working for actually also own the company that the bad guy is running, and it gets very kind of muddled in that element of it.
I
So I think I
mean,
agree that like a clearer plot would really help this movie a lot.
yeah, I think like it's that, and which is a positive something that I respect that Cronenberg has done in every movies. He doesn't hold your hand or explain. You just gotta
Sure.
go into and figure out almost a more clear, not clear, but like clean explanation of the things, or like let's remove like one character storyline, or like we don't need to see all three to four like edges of like the scanner world at a time. Like I wish it was like you said, like a little cleaner
Yeah.
plot. It was just a little more focused. So I'm like, oh, I care about their mission, or what they're doing. So like where we start, right, is the scanner, this like homelessly looking guy, which is just like, what was my first note? Oh, weird time to eat a hot dog was my first note of that thing.
Well,
Guys just
he
chowing.
he's picking plates, right? He's just going around finding leftovers, getting
Yeah,
the
he's
tables.
homeless.
But he's that's Stephen Lack as Cameron Vale is that
Mhm.
character's name, and he's
And
kind of our like he's our new character. It's classic movie making. He's so they can do exposition at him. You have a
yeah,
character who doesn't know anything about what's going on, and also he's a lot of times a special boy.
yeah, but yeah, so he like watches this like elder woman talking, and like does his telepathy, but obviously isn't realizing what she's doing. She's seizing, and then he runs away and he gets trapped and taken in. Like that's where you say like these guys give him this explanation of like, you're different. You're different. We call you scanners. And then we get an explanation a little later of like, these people have it, they exist in the world, they have a telepathy. This movie is very much like, I'm stealing it from Letterboxd, but like, it's the X-Men. It's mutants live in the world.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's like they bring him to a facility to basically like tell him about what scanners are, and also kind of like not so much torture him, but maybe kind of like acclimate him,
Well, I mean,
like
they strap
force him.
him
They
to
put
a
him in a room with
bed.
a bunch of people, and they took him. He can't block their thoughts, and they kind of force him to just live in that for a
Mhm.
while.
Yeah.
Um, and then later they come back. We'll see a little bit more. I don't know. Honestly, we don't see very much training. We can talk about that when we get to
No,
it.
we don't like
But
that's so
we
then
should
we
we cut to what's the name of the company? What is it? Consec.
consec.
Consec. So we see a guy who is talking about scanning, and he
And
says
this
he's
is
going to
the
be able to
most
demonstrate it.
yeah, and this is the most famous scene in the movie.
Right, and truly one of the
The
maybe
greatest
the most
practical.
famous practical effects of all time.
I think we included it when we did top 10 like
Mhm.
deaths because it is.
Yeah, because
Um,
and it holds up. It's a still an incredible looking effect.
oh yeah.
Um, but yeah,
So
he says he's gonna do scanning on a random volunteer. Michael Ironside
and no
volunteers.
one wants to raise their hand, but Michael Ironside
Yeah, he's glad.
does.
Well, the guy does. He does warn people. He's like, "Oh, it can cause nosebleeds." And
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm not gonna let you scan." Hell no, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't raise my hand either.
And little do we know, Michael
Yeah, but
Ironside is also
immediately you can tell. Michael Ironside goes up there. First of all, Michael Ironside can't help but look like a bad guy,
I'm saying
especially younger.
he's Michael
Like,
Ironside. He
yeah,
looks
he cannot help but look like a bad guy. But he goes up there, kind of, okay, yeah, let's do it. But then as soon as the guy starts trying to scan him, you can tell he's fighting back. Like, there's no like, he's not even pretending not to. He's like,
and the dude he's the heady pop guy might have my favorite like face acting
he's doing a lot.
of all
He's
because
getting
it's
he almost has the like Bart Simpson jaw where the bottom jaw is going the opposite direction of his face, right? Like remember old Simpsons
I
where
know what you're
Bart would
talking.
talk and occasionally his head would do that weird gyrate thing. Eh?
Yep. And he's a dude also, which let's get into this movie's credit here. Like, I wish that actor who does that because he's so good in that part.
Mhm.
This is a movie that's like far and few between other than like Michael Ironside and some people that are pretty good actors.
Oh yeah,
Uh
Stephen Lack. They talk about I was watching some special features, and the guy wasn't really an actor. He's more like an avant-garde artist and
yeah, you could
filmmaker.
tell.
Yeah, they
And
said he was not good at memorizing his lines or doing them the same way twice.
I wrote one down toward the end that I'll recite. But yeah, I wish that dude, I was like, man, he's great. Why can't you be more here? Like, I'd rather follow that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
But you
Michael
know who they
Irons,
should have cast there? And I thought this the whole movie. The guy who plays Flyboy in Dawn of the Dead. That actor, the
I see
helicopter
it.
pilot, I
Yeah.
feel like that actor would have been great in this role in the lead. Like
Yeah.
he's
Well,
got kind of a similar vibe and look, and I think he's a better actor.
oh, well, we could go other than the two, you could go, this
Yeah, but I don't
movie,
mind, we haven't got to her yet, but I don't mind the female lead who
she's
they bring
okay.
in. She's pretty good.
Yeah, she's still at it. I clicked on her wiki accidentally. She was married a lot. It was
She's
a
made a
very long
lot of
list.
times.
A very long list. But no, she's still working. She was just in that Reagan movie.
Oh boy.
But no, so the head pop though, it's I did read one thing which I thought was really interesting. Cronenberg, like, he knew that was they didn't have much. So there's a couple things about this movie is they didn't have much money, so they made it stretch and work, and it was the most rushed production, and like I think in his career, and it showed like they were rewriting. He was writing pages morning of shoots, like
Yeah, I could see that.
it was rushed. It wasn't that planned. And the one thing he did plan for that head pop, I guess that was supposed to be the intro of the movie.
Oh, okay.
And he
It is
thought,
pretty early. I have a note here like
yeah,
does the movie blow its wad by having
well,
this
his
so early in the film?
his thought he delayed it actually. His thought was, oh, let's move it a little ahead because people show up sometimes late to to the theater. So like, I mean, it's the second scene. It's if we're going by scenes, it's the second scene. But
Yeah,
what
it's
is that?
basically a second
It's like
scene.
15 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, pretty
Um,
early for such a
yeah,
big
it's very
effect.
early.
And
But
like I said, I don't necessarily think there's anything else. There's some cool gags in the movie, make no mistake, but I don't think anything that ever lives up to
no,
that. So they
I
really show their hand.
well, I think I always remember about that scene because I mean, I've used that GIF a million
Of
times, right?
course.
I remember when I first got hired where I work now, which is like almost 10 years ago, I we had Slack at the time, and I incorrectly, someone was talking, and I sent it to like my boss and whatever, of like, purposely,
Yeah.
of like, oh, and I sent that GIF, and it's so much more jarring, like not thinking about, because you see like the pig, like it's pig's blood and stuff in there,
Yeah.
like something. You see it still in that GIF, and I remember going, and it sat, no one responded to that chat for too long, and I just sat there, was watched it on, and I was like, oh, this was not the right thing to send at work, especially to your boss, like to your
Yeah.
the powers that be. And I remember, I mean, it was had to have been only a
I may
year.
have overplayed my hand
Yeah, I
here.
remember we've probably been there a year, so just thinking, man, I know they like me, but someone's thinking, what the fuck this kid sent me this for? Because it's
That's hilarious,
generally,
though.
if you don't look at the shit we look at all the time, that is
Sure.
stuff is
That's
jarring when
still very,
you,
and like I said, it holds up as an effect. It's still very graphic and gory.
yeah,
Like
they just put a
it
shotgun in
does
the
not
back.
look fake.
They put a shotgun to the back of like a gelled filled like meat stuffed like prosthetic head. It's awesome. But anyway, that happens, and then Michael Ironside like scurries away on his evil mission.
But I love this. They do a good thing here where they show him he gets captured, but they use it to show his abilities and how he gets out. We've seen it in other ways. You see criminals do it in different ways in movies. But the idea I love at first, the guy's going to give him the injection. We don't know what he's injecting with. We'll find out later. But he like scans the guy, and the guy doesn't shoot him, and he like puts it in his
He's
own
like, he's okay.
hand, and
He's okay.
and then when they're in a car, he just like starts taking control and like making the dudes driving, just like ram into stuff. It's really good. It's a
Yeah.
good way to establish the different scanning abilities,
Hmm.
like the not just the make your head blow up, but he's got like a mind control element to it, and it's a fun sequence.
Yeah. And then a little bit, which my first note was like, oh, sick art. Like where like Cameron afterwards goes to like this art exhibit kind of with a little time in because now he's looking for other scanners.
Yeah. Well, also like did we hit the part where they
Did
do the
I?
training yet?
Oh, so I thought we were kind of mentioned. So he goes through his own little training montage to hone his, not montage, but like hone his skills at Consec. Because what they want to do with Consec's plan is they want to use these guys as military assets.
Right, but what they found, but like supposedly there's like 230 of them known across the world, but they can't recruit any of them, and they're all being recruited by Michael Ironside, who's Daryl Revick. Revick. He really gets to yell his name at the end. He likes, I'm Daryl Revick, in his great
I
Michael
mean, he's
Ironside voice.
convincing. He's
He's good,
convincing.
but yeah, it's funny. It's like it's not subtle propaganda. Dr. Ruth is the guy who recruits Cameron
Hmm.
Vale, and he gives him like they literally call it indoctrination. They're like he's going through indoctrination right now, and basically he's just like giving him the hard sell of like we're the good guys. You need to help us stop Revik. Use your powers to stop Revik. And Vale is very much just like okay.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
Also,
I don't need any further information.
Val looks like fucking BJ Gemstone. Just a lot worse at
With like some
acting.
dark hair. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree he does.
like the whole
And he's
movie.
got some line deliveries that have that BJ kind of like, oh, they kind of like, kind of wide-eyed wonder.
Danny Bride probably put that together, and there's probably some fucking scanners reference in like one episode in 3 seasons. I mean, hell, season three, was it 3 or 4 they went? 3 or 4. Last one had a full monkey shine subplot.
Yeah, yeah.
Legitimately. But no, so you're right. He goes through that and
We also find out there's a concept guy who's like informing to Revik. That's how Revik like
mhm.
knew to come there and blow up the dude's head and like knows what's going on with them and
Yeah, and like
stuff.
Revik wants Vale as an asset. Like that is
Yeah,
his goal. And
yeah,
like, because eventually Vale starts running around trying to get these like minor players. Like one of the notes other I had about this movie is there's like a weird, what we were talking about earlier, nightmare there's like almost a weird precursor to like the way Dream Warriors is set up with like these people with there's elements like people in powers like when they were in
Yeah.
that like therapy session later on, even though the tactical team comes through,
Well, he
it's
goes to see the guy who's the artist, and that guy's supposed
yeah.
to be a scanner, and he kind of meets with him.
Also, the guy who's an artist, I don't know how much things probably weren't as expensive back then. His art, like those molds and shit he was doing to people, that's some pricey ass artwork to
Oh, I
make.
believe it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looked cool. I loved when he
It was
climbed in
cool.
the head and was hanging out inside the head.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Very I was very enamored by that guy's like studio space or
Studio
like
loft barn
loft
thing that
and
he was living in.
then
Yeah,
also at the same time a show that he was having like
yeah.
I was like, oh, this is cool artwork. That's cool. Anyway, very there's
But
nothing.
also, Vale does serve the function of leading people with shotguns to the people he meets with. That happens like 2 or 3 times where Vale
Three
meets with a guy and then a bunch of dudes with shotgun show up, kill the other person, he gets away.
all the time.
And
I
the
mean
dying words, he, like, like he goes to that guy Pierce, who's the artist. He gets killed. His dying words are like, "Go find Kim,"
and Kim almost gets killed.
and then like all, not Kim herself, but all the other people in Kim's group get shotgunned to death. I do like that this movie chose like exclusively shotguns
Well,
for their weapons.
I think that's the other big, not shotguns, the highlight from the effects and set pieces is that I think it's when leaving Kim's, if I'm not mistaken, that car chase scene where they're just blowing shotguns through them. The
Yeah,
squibs in that are so gooey and
yeah.
like perfectly going. And that to me was like, okay, that's your next like other than the ending, that's your next like that's
Yeah.
next up
Well,
in
I
the
was gonna say
head.
I also like the gag, and they don't draw a lot of attention to it. But when the shotgun guys show up, they blow everybody, and then Kim does like a power surge. She
Mhm.
also sets them on fire. Like she clearly has pyrokinesis also, which is like something we don't see from any other
So
scanner. So that's like maybe a
they're
thing individualistic to her.
they're X-Men.
Yeah, they're X-Men.
I also got vibes of, and it's the score, and I know it's this, and just the era. Halloween 3, there's like an overlining like tone in this movie that has this like finding a mystery with a synth score on, but it's a lot
Yeah.
weirder than that. It's not. I'm making comparisons to just shit I like.
Well, sure. And a lot of things in the '80s were using synth scores.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I mean in this movie. Like I think where I lost it, there's these scenes we're talking about, and I'm like, dope. I'm glad I own it.
Mhm.
It's Cronenberg. But it's actually like meat and potatoes of it. Like I think I just need want more and it to be more focused.
Yeah. Well, I think it just gets bogged down in the middle because, like, well, we can talk about a little bit here. We don't need to get too deep into it, but like, he finds the we haven't really talked too much. There's this drug that they're using that can like suppress the powers of scanners.
Yeah, but that's not the no. There's two drugs. There's that drug and there's a drug they've been inserting with people to make them scanners as well.
Well, it's the same drug.
Ephemeral.
If you give the drug to a pregnant
Yeah,
person,
okay, so
the
that's it.
baby becomes a scanner.
Ephemeral because
Ephemeral.
later,
Right.
or I know I'm jumping
But it
around like
also
crazy
can then suppress the powers of a scanner.
because that was pretty cool later when like they go to that doctor's office and Kim like starts having a fucking seizure attack, like
Yeah.
a scan attack or whatever you want to call it, and he's like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "That woman's womb did that to me."
Yeah, she's like a baby attacked me
Yeah,
from the womb. Yeah.
and it's like the reveal of like what's going on with this ephemeral. Like that's
Right.
neat.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the part there's like a part in the middle where they get bogged down with like Michael Ironside runs the ephemeral factory, but the ephemeral factory is a company that was founded by Dr. Ruth that he sold to
It's yeah,
Comtech.
it's not
That
that interesting.
it's not that interesting, and it bogs it down. And what we really want to get to is just like the ending with Michael Ironside and Cameron Vale. That's what we really need to get to.
I think it would be better off replace that middle, like you said, with like Ironside and explaining of Dr. Ruth
Mhm.
and eventually Dr. Ruth meets his demise and this and that
Well, that's the thing.
because
Like, we don't even get. I don't even feel like the reveal of what's going on with Dr. Ruth is satisfying. It's just kind of told to us by Michael Ironside at the end.
yeah.
So I feel like you could have filled that some of that time that's like bogged down with some of that stuff we were talking about with a better
Well,
reveal of
I
that
I
information,
was just gonna say with
like
like Michael Ironside doing more and not just talking, like
yeah, yeah.
doing either more killing or like fucked up shit uh
Like
to find Vale.
like him and Vale should have been competing to find other scanners. Like
Yeah.
that could have been a part of it. Like maybe they're
Mhm.
both trying to find Kim at the same time, or they're both trying to find. And I feel like the movie was doing that a little bit, but not in a competition sort of way, just so that
And
it
I
felt more just like cat and mouse. Like Revik's people were just showing up to kill people. There wasn't like it could have been more like a like I need to put together a team, and these are the last people that Revik hasn't gotten yet, and they can help me. And I like it just could have been clearer, I
Mhm.
think.
No, yeah, absolutely. And there's a way to do that, and it's probably a common criticism I'd imagine of that. Like I said,
Yeah. Yeah.
like what we know of this movie, and like I tried looking up like some fun facts. Like number one was writing scripts in the morning, like writing in the day of, figuring out, and rushed. And like I think in these movies when that happens, those middle sections that are probably, I'd imagine if you're making a film, harder to flesh out than like, nah, I know the three big beats that I want in the movie. Like those
Yeah.
are always going to be
But I
good.
need to weave something to get some from one to the
Yeah.
next. Like,
Um, yeah, man. But anyway, I know I jumped all through this and kind of, like you said, that middle was like kind of ran through it, but oh, you know
well,
what's a
we
crazy
can jump to
scene?
the end because so
Well,
they
well,
like him and Vale
Vale
and
and Kim,
Kim get captured and then break out.
and it has the craziest part.
Which are you going to talk about how he can scan a computer
Yeah, yeah, because they're not computers. I want to make this
through a phone line?
through a phone line. That was awesome, but it was also
Yeah,
crazy. So these guys are in the building, right? Like the guys are working in that was Consec, right?
yeah, they're a
They were in
concept. Yeah,
Consec, and like they're using the old ass computers, and they're going through, and they're like, "Pff, no one can hack through here, nothing to worry about." And they're like, "Yeah, I thought things were gonna explode. You're an idiot." And like he starts seizing out,
yeah.
scanning
He's
through the.
like they can tell that he's in the system, and they're like, "We'll just unplug it." They're like, "No, that's a bad idea." It's like nothing's gonna happen. Just pull the plug on it. And yeah, that he
And
starts like
the
vibrating on the other end of the line.
and it lights on fire. And my favorite like edit of that is the dude filling up his gas tank, just like lets it go and runs away because he's like, "Fuck out of here! I'm not gonna
Yeah.
blow up." And then
Well,
like,
and the nerd scientist who was all like, "Nothing's gonna happen," gets
yeah,
blown
oh,
across
that
the
was awesome.
room. Yeah.
And then they just keep going, and like it just has that like code, and it made that it has a. I probably wasn't at the time, but that cliche of why the fuck would any of this stuff have a self-destruct mode onto it?
Yeah.
Like, it's one of my favorite movie tropes, especially, you know, you don't see it as much anymore back in the day of like, has a self-destruct button. It's like, what do you know that has a self-destruct button?
Why? Why
Why
would
don't
you
you
ever want to
program that?
destroy? Yeah, that's making sense.
But it was some fun-ass computers, and that also, like, you know, and they definitely borrowed from it, shades of the Matrix.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the Matrix, you know,
Um,
Matrix has shades of scanners, but you know what I mean? Like, no, very fun. Like that stuff's
well, like I
awesome.
said, I like that escalation of like he can scan a machine. Like that's a new step. Like that they take it to another
Yeah.
place, and I like that. Like
Because
that's cool.
to me in the
Like
lore, they're not, you know, they're not computers. They're modified human beings.
right, yeah, absolutely. Well, and okay, so the information he steals from the computers about this Project Ripe,
Hmm.
and he's gonna go. He goes to confront. Hold on, sorry.
No, no.
I want to make sure we're talking this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you.
no. Okay, so he's like they get captured by Revok finally, right? That's the
Hmm.
that we're getting toward. They find out about the Project Ripe, but they pull the plug and they get blown up. And it's like when he's in his weakened state from blowing them up in Insidious that Revok shows up and grabs Kim and him and takes them. And so we're kind of getting into our final reveals here. Project
Yeah,
Ripe,
and that's what you're saying before of like right after that happens, I already talk like the pregnancy reveal.
yeah,
Like that
yeah,
happens right after this. But yeah, our final like kind of showdown and reveals with the Reich, and then you that's where you find out like Dr. Ruth.
right. Well, Dr. Ruth like Michael Ironside lays out everything that Dr. Ruth is the one who invented ephemeral,
Hmm.
and then he found out that giving it to people was creating their babies were scanners, and he realized retroactively that he had given it to his wife, and his two sons must be scanners, and that's Vale and Revok are his two
Yes,
sons
separated. Why?
separated.
Why one was a vagrant? Why the word
Well, here's
vagrant's
my
not a
okay. So
thing.
here's my thing, and Revok kind of like talk. Not he didn't really talk about this, but he says he like I feel like Dr. Ruth activates Vale. He keeps him in the like
But he lets him go be
he
like
knows his
homeless
brain is
for like.
erratic, so he like keeps an eye on him, but he just kind of lets him float in society. And then when it's time to use him, he's like a WMD though.
Yeah,
You bring him in, but he's like a chaos
he
machine.
knows what he's capable of and he's the strongest because a line
Right.
that's said when they're talking that I also really took away from Help with the movie, him saying, we're the strongest out of everyone because we are brothers and his son and we're older than everyone else because
Yeah.
everyone else who's a scanner at the moment is like 10 years younger than them
Yeah.
at the oldest. So that was interesting. Like
Yeah. And
that's
I
some
just feel
interesting
like
ones.
there's like a thing like he weaponized his other son. He's like, you're not really controllable. You're only controllable to a certain extent. You're both out of control. But Vance Vale, I can keep like kind of pacified in this like
Hmm.
this homeless vagrant state.
And
He's
and I think you have
and
one,
then when I need him, I can like he seems to know he gives him just enough ephemeral to like focus his powers. You know what I
and
mean?
oh yeah, and like the other one, Ironside, he's probably just always been like, lack of better word, smart. Like
Right.
I know what's
Well, and
going
like
on. I can
more
control
free, like had
this.
more freedom to figure things out for himself. And
Yeah.
probably because he was that way, that's why Ruth kept Vale the way he did. You know what I mean? He didn't
Hmm.
want to let him become another Revok.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, I feel like there's a lot of interesting stuff there to be. I feel like we're filling in some blanks that the movie could have put
Oh, the
together
movie
that would have
doesn't.
made the movie a little bit more
If I
interesting.
had this conversation with someone like, I was going to say at a bar, but like other than this setting, this is never this type of
No, you're never getting to
figuring
this
out
spot.
is
Yeah,
coming out. Going, oh yeah, yeah, you're right. That is what was going on. And compared to like the movie and these scenes are very wordy without saying these things.
yeah.
Which again, it's a
Well, like I said,
positive.
I'm kind of like I said, I'm doing the thing where Cronenberg lays out some stuff, and maybe I'm piecing together what's there, or maybe I'm just making it up in my head canon to
Well,
make it make sense.
his
But
son, I know I'm jumping, also has that in it. Like with like
yeah,
Infinity Pool, right? We covered that.
mhm,
And that's an excellent movie. That has the same. I mean, I think it's much better than this movie, but the same thing a lot of his father had of like, oh no, like I'm gonna let you fill in these blanks and talk about it and kind of like patch
yeah,
together some of this lore for yourself. I don't need to tell you it all. Like
yeah.
Infinity Pool very much has that. It sets up its rules, but we had some freedom when we talked about it.
Oh, absolutely.
Scanners has a similar thing, and I think that's why I know we're getting to the big end here, but reading a little about the movie is so there's been like three sequels and like a couple spin-offs.
Yeah, I
Cron
saw, and I think the guy, what's his name, the bad actor, comes back for a lot of them.
oh maybe I generally didn't like look into it more than that. There's two sequels and two spin-offs. Scanner Cop and Scanners the Showdown. Um,
Scanner Cop.
1994. Oh, I think I gotta watch this. Um, but anyway, my point bringing it up, going back to the Cronenberg, he literally was like, no, I do not want to take residuals for the characters and the characters' names. I want nothing to do with the sequels. I played in that world. I'm fucking done.
Yeah, that
Which
doesn't
seems like a
surprise
miss.
me.
It doesn't surprise me of who he is and from what we like
He
learned by
doesn't
talking
do,
about the
yeah,
movie.
it's not really a sequel guy.
But I mean, to be a little reflective here, I think that guy could have, you know, hit a true home run if he's like, oh wait, the first one had some juice and a hit. I could really improve on this world and these
Right.
characters and
I could
like
expand this and maybe
a-
like be a little more focused
and be
and
as smart as he is to do so.
yeah, really give it
And
my whole effort, you
yeah,
know?
instead of just like running away. Um, but that's not what happened. In 2007 there was a announced remake with the dude who directed three of the Saw movies.
Oh, okay,
Um,
right.
it never
See,
got
and that just feels like a thing where somebody went, "Hey, you made the Saw movies; they're gory. Scanners is a famous gory movie. Like,
two, three, and four.
oh, okay,
And
two and
this
three,
is
arguably two and three are two of the good
yeah,
ones.
and this is why it never got off the ground, it looks like. Weinstein Company, Dimension Films, David S. Goyer to do the script, uh, and it actually had a planned date of a year, so it was going to be developed in under a year. And then nothing's been announced, nothing was said anything. That's a dead. I mean, that's
Yeah,
20
that's
years ago.
20 years ago now.
But it's kind of funny because every couple of years someone's probably like, we got we got that scanners right back there. What do we do with it? And they're like, not what I we could try.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure there's like I mean, fuck it. His son. Let his son do a scan. Like, let his
yeah,
son do the
yeah. True enough.
scanners.
Well, and it's like I feel like you could do a like. There's so much superhero and superpower shit now. Like I feel like there's room for a superpower horror movie. Like
Well,
so or like superpower sci-fi thriller.
what
Like
if you adapt it? I know we kind of cut it before we, like I said, just talked about the ending, but literally just take this movie and let like little Cronenberg or like one of those millions of horror disciples we have out there making awesome shit, just like take this and just be like, oh, it's the New Mutants,
yeah, truly.
right? Like just call this New Mutants, and you're like, wow, that's great. They did an X-Men. They
They
did a
did an
scary
X-Men with
X-Men.
it. Like the way the Joker was just a Scorsese movie, but they pretended it was a comic book movie.
Yeah, and like it Scorsese movies are so much better than that thing, but it
It's
was a
true.
mimic of that.
And because the audience for those movies hasn't seen a real movie, they thought it was quite good.
Ugh, so bad. But anyway, there's meat on that bone. I think there's meat on this bone, and I like my trash in life.
Yeah.
I like my trash, and it straight up more interests me to see like how bad some of these spin-off and sequels are. You know,
I bet there's some real Yeah, I bet there's some real It's interesting though, especially with the way this one ends. I would be interested to see because like I said, I thought I saw that the Veil guy comes back, but then with the way this one ends, that would be weird because he is burnt to a cinder. His body is burnt to a cinder in this one.
He's Michael Ironside. I didn't
And he's gay. I do love that's a great reveal. And I learned from the special features
Oh, cool, you
that
watched them.
I watched. So I didn't get to watch them all, but I watched
Hmm.
some. Um, I love that he like the whole reveal when he's in Revik's body and he has the eyes. Those blue eyes, those contacts were the contacts Dustin Hoffman used when he was in the movie Little Big Man. Now, if kids out there don't know Little Big Man, it's a movie about a white guy who becomes a Native American, but the storytelling structure starts with him as a super old man, Dustin Hoffman in like crazy old man makeup, like he's supposed to be 120 years old or something,
That's fucking
and he has these
awesome.
like really bright blue eyes, these like contacts,
I mean that
and
when I
those are the
say
contacts that they used in Scanners.
that is a fun trivia. I think that's the Super Mario Bros. Face off boot type trivia.
Yeah, that's the good shit, right?
That's great.
Or like the They Live, where they use the PKE meters from Ghostbusters, and They Live, and those things just be popping up. I love that sort of stuff.
that other movie you mentioned with Dustin Hoffman, that sounds crazier than this.
Little Big Man, I definitely remember watching it as a kid,
Hmm.
and it's like, yeah, he is a white man who like lives with the natives and and stuff, and he's
Yeah.
telling the story like as an old man. That's like this, like I said, that's the like wraparound structure.
Excuse me, that makes sense. I do have an answer for you. Stephen Lack
Yeah,
Cameron Vale
Cameron, yes.
has not been in a sequel.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
The
It was probably just a
sequels,
guy who kind of looked like him, and I didn't look very
yeah, the
closely.
sequels seem independent, but they have fucking awesome names. Scanners 2, The New Order.
That's good.
Scanners 3, The Takeover.
Okay, all right, I like that.
Spinoff, Scanner Cop.
Scanner Cop is the best one.
And then Scanner Cop 2, or also known as Scanners, The Showdown.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, all right,
Yeah.
all right.
All right.
And you know what? Like, as dumb as they are, I bet like they pay off on a lot of our like kind of more base ideas of like build recruiting a team of scanners with specific
Oh, you know
skills and
there's
stuff like
some
that. Like,
yeah, I
there's some of those like kind of more hack ideas of ours,
I
like in
have to
that
be
one.
yeah, I have to imagine. Um but yeah, so anyway, to kind of wrap up that end, I know you talked about the ending itself, but I want to rewind a hair is so when they do
No,
have
go
their
ahead.
meetup, it is it does make me laugh and it's not the movie's fault. They're doing a telepathic showdown where their faces are just jiggling,
Yeah.
and you have some awesome practical effects of these like pus worms going
Yeah,
through them.
they were a type of, it's like a bladder underneath, and they
Yeah,
would like fill them up. And apparently, this is the first movie that was ever used in that's like a technique
it's
they kind of
awesome.
pioneered in this.
It's awesome.
Like it was something the special effects guy had been working on already, but he did. This is the first time he used it for anything.
And he's a
It looks
special
great. Yeah, it looks great.
a special effects guy who did Exorcist, Dick Smith, and Amadeus.
Nice.
But anyway, he reminded me of that South Park though, when they're like, "Oh no, it's a psychic fight," and all the fake psychics are,
Yeah.
and like obviously there's real acting and more here, but Vale, that is the line I wrote. He has the line reading that I was like, "Oof, this guy."
Yeah.
Where was it? The future. You murdered the future. Some like he goes, yeah, he goes, the future. You murdered the future. Rough acting.
Yeah, it's not great. And like I said, I was the Michael Ironside interview. He was reminiscing, and he's being very kind, but he is very much like this guy was just not really an actor,
Yeah,
and
you
he
could see it
didn't. This is
as
not the way he was a performer, but not like this. And like he was like you said, he came up to him and was like, all the lines. It's like, yeah. He's like, and all my lines too. He's like, yeah, I know the whole
yeah, and
script. I know
Michael Ironside's
everything
like
because I'm a
a
fucking pro. Like,
classically trained actor who
right? He went to
probably
Juilliard and shit.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to highlight that line. But anyway, they have that sick ass thing. Vale's like eyes pop out, which is
They almost like
awesome.
shatter, which is pretty cool. It's a cool effect.
He
Like,
lights on fire, like
yeah,
his body burns up.
he first like he gets they get the bladder thing where like they have the veins, but then he like pulls and he's like tearing his own face off,
It's
and
cool.
like yeah, it's like I said, it's a pretty great. It doesn't. Unfortunately, it still doesn't reach the level of the original of that head blow
No.
up. But apparently, they did reshoot a lot of it because there was like some more like sparks and fireworks, and they watch it and they're like, no, this sucks, this doesn't work,
Mm.
like we need something more like graphic and scary kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is definitely and you were like, oh, more sci-fi. This leans, I think, more horror than sci-fi for sure.
Yeah, I would say so. I
Um,
guess I was worried that it would be like I said because wasn't as familiar. Like I had seen it, but I didn't remember, and I knew no, there was like an element where there was like labs
yeah,
and drugs and chemicals. So I guess maybe in my mind I was thinking that maybe there was more of a
to,
sci-fi
to
element to
me,
it.
that's like, I don't know, ingrained in like the background of so many of these like 80s, I'm gonna call them horror movies, where like actually there was a weird ass sci-fi element to the whole thing. So
Sure,
again,
yeah,
I'll pivot back to Halloween 3. I know it's a terrible example for that, but like,
but it definitely has that.
yeah, and there's others, but like Day of the Dead has that feeling. It's not,
Yeah,
but it like so anyway, they go through that. It is a sick final battle.
yeah.
And then that
For
reveal.
two dudes looking at each other, they do an
Yeah,
awesome job.
it's
Like
filmed well, and it's the effects there. It's the face and like
and
it's
like I said, even before we get into like that, the actual psychic battle, you talk about Vale being kind of lackluster, but Michael Ironside, on the other hand, is acting his ass
Micro
off and like
Ironside is like,
really like putting on a full guttural like
he's
growl, and he's doing it
yeah,
like he's getting his full Ironside voice going. You know,
yeah. He does that. He has that fucking screech out while he's burning
the
up and
voice of Darkseid from the Justice League cartoon is coming out of that motherfucker.
but yeah, man, they do that, right? And you already revealed like she
Well,
walks
I do.
him.
I have to say, I love the effect of the charred corpse. I think
Well,
that
that's what
looks great.
the
He's like
him
almost
comes out.
mummified. He like yeah,
Well, and it's cool too because like you're like, oh shit, that I guess it is Vale, but like there is a
yeah,
moment of who's that? Who is? I had
yeah.
that of
You're like
like, who
ah,
is that? And it is technically Vale's body, but as you see, the eyes transferred
yeah. His eye color transferred, I guess, and
and
his
his
voice.
voice, and you get this ending of no, we won.
Yeah.
Uh, so what is their end goal with this? Is it to just preserve and protect the scanners? Is this a,
Well, by the end, I mean Dr. Ruth is dead too. So
mhm.
and Vale knows he knows the production. He knows how they use the ephemeral to make scanners, and now he'll be in Revik's body, which means he'll have control over that production, so he can probably end it if he wants to. Or
Yeah. Does it, yes, but is it also a,
also, there's already ladies
Magneto?
pregnant with new scanners. What's he going to do
That's
with
my
them?
question. Is this a Magneto Professor X experience where he has Professor X mentality where he's like, if I preserve him and keep the peace, this is good for humanity. But,
Yeah,
Magneto was more of like, I'm sorry, Michael Ironside being the Magneto was more
yeah,
of like, no, I'm searching for the one so we could be the
right. No,
superior
we're going to band
race.
together. And we're going to take down the oppressors, and we will become the
Yeah.
ruling class. Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe the sequels that I'm definitely never gonna watch, but I'm gonna think about it.
The
Uh,
sequels in my mind will get into that.
yeah, let's see. Scanners 2. This all has to be on Tubi, right? Yep, Tubi. Yeah,
Hell yeah, Tubi.
Tubi.
Way to be there for us, Tubi.
It's always there for you. Scanners 3, Tubi. Scanner Cop. Now that's the question. Scanner Cop. We might have to do Scanner Cop. Not available to watch.
Ooh,
I'm sure we could find it. I'm sure it's on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
it's on YouTube. Hell yeah, it is.
Someone uploaded it.
Scanner Cop. And no one's worrying about taking that down.
No, no. What's the view? Oh, we can't see view counts anymore.
It's weird how like content creators will complain about getting copyright strikes, but whole ass movies will just sit on there and the studios don't give a shit. Like nobody
Right.
gives a fuck about that.
And my favorite with that is too with the whole ass movies is the other things that are like nudity in plain sight too. There'll be these movies
Yeah,
like I don't know if Scanner Cop has it, but a movie like Scanner Cop, some unrated like thing that had a bunch of titties in it that was like straight to like a trauma that was like yeah yeah
right.
yeah yeah. They're just sitting on YouTube. No one flagged them.
Yeah. And
Um,
then you got Harrison. going on there when he's like 5 years old, typing in naked people, Peepo whole, trying
Did
to
that
look up naked
happen?
people on YouTube, and he's gonna find them now.
Well,
Well, now he knows how to search the real one.
I was gonna say, if he's still doing that, I think we have to give him a couple more tests.
Yeah, he still can't spell it either. Let's
B-E-W-B, bubes,
Bubes.
butt cheeks. Uh,
Show hole.
uh,
All right, well, do we
I
have
don't
anything
know.
else
That
to
was
say about
Scanners.
scanners?
I don't know. Let's
That
keep
it?
talking about
This is a
Silence of the
nice
Lambs.
this is a nice Blu-ray
It
though,
is a nice Blu-ray.
regardless.
How do you? All right, I do have my one beef though with it.
Is it about being a cardboard, not
Yep.
a hardback? Yeah, I don't love it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
I don't love
weird
it.
one.
But in fairness, at least it's got the actual like clip
Yeah.
in. It
It's
doesn't have a
no. It's
sleeve.
nice. It's
Hate
not
a
the
sleeve.
well. The worst copy ever. I actually replaced it when I was able to. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Blu-ray
Oh.
release. It was flat cardboard.
The Gone Girl Blu-ray might be like that
No, Gone
too.
Girl Blu-ray's beautiful. That's thick cardboard with a little book in it and a
Oh,
and a
okay.
full
I'm
that
thinking a different one.
that looks like Scanners, the Gone Girl card
Okay.
one. No, no, no. The original Girl with Dragon Tattoo one was like was that 2010,
Yeah.
2011? There were complaints about it at the time of like, "Whoa, you guys are saving money." Like they tried to be cool with like making it look like a copyright like burned disc, which was cool.
Yeah.
But the packaging stuff was it like crushes in your
Uh,
spine collection.
yeah.
Anyway, no, no, no. There are criterions that do that where they have those.
Mhm.
I prefer their clear one. Speaking of David Fincher, though, it's interesting. The only blue one is Curious Case of Benjamin Button. It looks like a normal Blu-ray for some reason. It's the only one in the collection that like looks like one if we were to buy it at like, you know,
Yeah.
blue, like Target or something. I replaced it with a clear disc, a clear case that I had because like this looks nicer. But
Yeah, yeah, sure.
yeah, Criterion's weird with interesting with their packaging. I feel fortunate that I have
I'll tell you
the
what, I ordered the Criterions and arrows. All my arrows came with sleeves,
sleeve. Yeah,
but not all my Criterions did.
no, I think those are harder to get or produce. I like the one
In
I'm
fact, I
like,
don't know if any of my Criterions did, but all my arrows did.
yeah, arrows are sick. The one I'm pumped about that I have is I have the book, the hard book version of The Princess Bride on Blu-ray
Oh, nice.
from Criterion. They don't make that anymore. Like I
Ooh.
think if you buy it, it's just like a disc
Like
now.
a
I'm like,
regular disc now,
yeah,
yeah. Like, yeah.
yeah. I did have a wait. We'll wrap up because I had a Criterion question for you. Actually, fuck it. We'll ask it and then we'll end
Ask it
out.
on the pod, whatever. Right?
All right. So, good or bad, we appreciate the
Oh,
Criterion,
obviously, yeah.
how they package and put things together and preserve movies and I think things like the Brood and Scanners and
Mhm.
are important on there if otherwise would be somewhat forgotten movies or hard to not forgotten but have worse preservation if they didn't exist.
Sure.
Right. And that's like its purpose. Like shit like
Yeah.
Hausu is on there. And I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
naming
Oh, I have
horror,
the
but
Criterion of House.
yeah, of
Of
course
course.
of course comes it's a part of the starter pack. No, but like yeah, Silence of the Lambs. But what is a movie that they put out that you're like that not that it's bad or it could be good or bad, but that I have an answer for this. That shouldn't be on there. This from what you've tried to set as your tone,
Mhm.
what are you doing here?
Okay, well, I would say as a person who owns the Criterions of both Armageddon and The Rock,
Hmm. You
probably
do?
both of those.
That's a flex though. That was like early Criterion. That was nah, that's a flex. Armageddon
um,
has a place in history. That's the
the
first
Ben Affleck documentary.
that's the first
Ben Affleck
DVD.
commentary.
That's the first Criterion DVD,
Oh, is it?
I believe, with or in that format with special features with that commentary. that actually like has like historical implications.
Ooh.
Something
Well,
like
I'm
that.
not. I still like it, but also here's one. This pertains to my recent culling of my collection. So I saw that there's a Criterion release for Sid and Nancy. Have you ever seen Sid and
Yeah,
Nancy?
I've never seen it, but I know the movie.
You're aware of it.
Yeah.
I'm going through, and like I said, I was pulling things that I was going to replace
Hmm.
also, and I pulled my DVD copy of Sid and Nancy, and I'm looking at it, and I have it on the wish list, and I'm like, I am gonna pull this and put it in the box, but I am not. I am also going to take the Criterion off of my wish list and probably not replace this because
Interesting.
first of all, I'm pretty over biopics at this point. I don't really have a lot of place for biopics in my life, and I know they're a big staple and people really like them and they're big. They're always like
They're crowd
awards contenders and
pleasers.
stuff.
Yeah. Or these.
But yeah, it's a fine movie, but like here's the thing. I don't think I had ever watched my special edition DVD, let
Mm,
alone to then replace on Criterion. So maybe whether it belongs or not isn't up to me if it's a good enough movie to be in the Criterion collection. But I was just kind of like,
okay.
nah, I'm
You
done. I'm good.
Yeah, you went with a different answer than I did because
Yeah.
I have those like movie I love, but I own it. I've actually bought it like accidentally like twice on Blu-ray before. Um, and now I'm just like I'm not getting the Criterion as much as I want to. The game, right?
Oh yeah. I do have
Like
the game Criterion.
yeah, and I want it, but I'm like, do I re like what's the benefit
Right.
here? No, my answer for that was and why I want to ask it is um The Breakfast Club seems like such a weird addition, and I only say that because there's so many editions of The Breakfast Club you could get on,
Yeah.
from probably since it was on VHS to Laserdisc to like it's like, to probably something called like the Totally Teen Edition
Oh
Blu-ray
yeah, the
anniversary. Like,
John Hughes collection.
yeah,
I
like
had that one. I had the 3-pack that came in a binder. It looked like a school binder, and it had Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, and Weird Science. I
yeah,
had that.
like it has nothing to do with the movie itself.
I now have the Breakfast Club Criterion, of
Yeah,
course.
and I'm sure it's beautiful, but it's one of these things I go, it doesn't fit, but I'm sure there's 10 of them, and I'm just picking on one of them.
Yeah,
But anyway, I could talk, we
I could
could
talk
talk,
physical media
I was
all
gonna
day
say, I could
long.
talk plastic and metallic discs all day.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was scanners and a lot of physical media talk.
Yeah, and follow me on Letterboxd if you want to see somebody who watches a
Follow me
shit
on
ton of
Letterboxd
movies.
too. Yeah, they were good follows on all the platforms.
I sometimes even do a little blurb. I not always, but sometimes.
I try myself.
I try to at least do a star rating. I'm also a total like I'm pretty generous. I don't give a lot of like low star ratings. Like first of all, I just don't think I watch a lot of movies like that I know I'm not gonna like, so I don't end up
Mm,
getting a lot of low ratings. I watch things that I like and I rewatch a lot of things that I know I'm gonna like, so they get good ratings.
yeah, I get
But
it. And stay frightful, everyone. Bye.
woo.